Have you ever caught yourself wondering if that one woman, the one who's already taken, might secretly be into you? Maybe she holds your gaze just a second too long, smiles nervously around you, or finds excuses to bump into you wherever you go. It's subtle, almost unnoticeable, but it makes you question, is there something more here? Here's the truth. If a woman in a relationship starts catching feelings for someone else, she won't make it obvious. She'll hide it, even from herself. But no matter how hard she tries, her heart betrays her through little actions, unmistakable signals that slip through the cracks. Most guys miss these signs completely or write them off as coincidence. That's where you're about to have the upper hand. Stick around for signs 6 and 1, because those two will make everything crystal clear. 10. Forbidden signs. She's into you, even if she's taken her voice becomes softer. Around you, one of the most overlooked but revealing signs is a shift in her voice. A woman in a relationship may not openly flirt, but her tone will betray her. When she speaks to you, her voice might become warmer, slower, or more inviting. It's not random. It's her subconscious drawing you closer. Contrast this with how she sounds around others, including her partner. If she is more formal or distant with them, but noticeably softer and more engaged with you, take note. Pay attention to whether she laughs more when you're around, even at the silliest jokes. Laughter is a bonding mechanism, a subtle way to create an unspoken connection. She makes subtle changes just for you. A woman falling for someone outside her relationship won't make blatant moves. Instead, she'll make small but meaningful adjustments. Perhaps she starts wearing more flattering outfits, experimenting with new lipstick shades, or donning a captivating fragrance. These are subconscious ways to capture your attention. Watch her body language as well. Does she smooth her hair, adjust her clothes, or touch her neck when you're near? These aren't random gestures. They're signals designed to subtly draw you in. She finds ways to be near you. If she's into you, she will create opportunities to be in your presence. Maybe she times her coffee breaks with yours, asks for your help with trivial things, or frequently appears in places you frequent. These coincidences aren't random, they're calculated. Group settings reveal even more. Does she consistently position herself next to you, linger after conversations, or hesitate before walking away? These are subtle yet deliberate actions that speak volumes. Subtle physical touch. Physical touch is a powerful indicator of attraction, especially if she's in a relationship. A slight brush of the hand, a tap on the shoulder, or a lingering moment where her fingers rest on yours. These aren't accidents. They're deliberate, yet cautious, gestures meant to test the boundaries while maintaining plausible deniability. Does she touch you more than she does others? Do these touches linger just a little longer? If so, her actions may be revealing a hidden attraction. She acts differently around you. Her entire demeanor shifts when you're around. She may become more animated, laughing louder at your jokes and glowing in your presence. Or she might act distant and reserved, trying to suppress her emotions. Either extreme is telling, because both indicate that your presence affects her deeply. If her mood noticeably shifts depending on whether you're there, it's a sign of an internal emotional struggle. Her eyes give her away. Eyes are the windows to the soul, and if she's developing feelings, her gaze will expose it. If her eye contact lingers longer than usual, if she uses the triangle method, shifting her gaze from your eyes to your lips and back, or if her pupils dilate when she looks at you, these are subconscious indicators of attraction. In group settings, she might avoid looking at you too much to keep her interest a secret, but watch for stolen glances when no one else is paying attention. Her eyes will reveal the truth. She dives into deep questions. When a woman is emotionally invested, she seeks to know you beyond the surface level. She might ask about your dreams, ambitions, childhood, or life philosophy. She remembers small details and brings them up later, signaling genuine interest. This is her way of forging a deeper connection. She's not just being friendly, she's trying to understand you on a level that sets you apart from the rest. When she's talking to you, a woman who's already taken may not openly flirt with you, but it's in the subtle shifts of her tone where the truth reveals itself. When she speaks to you, her voice might soften, becoming warmer, slower, or even more inviting. It's not random, it's her subconscious trying to draw you closer. Now, contrast that with how she sounds around her partner or others. With them, she might be more formal, louder or distant, but with you, there's a calmness, a gentleness that wasn't there before. And have you noticed she laughs more when you're around? Even at the silliest, almost ordinary things that's not about the joke, it's about you. Laughter is her way of creating a bond, a secret connection that lingers between the lines of your conversations. Pay attention to how she uses her voice to pull you in. Does she drop it lower, making you lean in just to catch her words? Or maybe she teases you with playful stretches in her tone, saying something in a way that feels like it's meant. Just for you, these subtle signals are her way of showing intrigue without pushing any boundaries. Her voice is where the walls start to come down. It's soft, inviting, and laced with an interest she might not even realize she's expressing. If you're hearing the shift, it's a sign she might already feel something deeper, even if she hasn't said it out. Right 9, she's making subtle yet irresistible changes just for you. Here's the thing about a woman falling for you. Especially when she's already taken, she won't make blatant moves. Instead, she'll leave a trail of subtle but meaningful clues. One of the most telling signs, a quiet transformation in her appearance. Maybe she starts wearing clothes that perfectly contour her figure, or a striking lipstick shade you've never seen her wear before. Has she suddenly started wearing a captivating new perfume, or showing off a delicate piece of jewelry? These small but powerful changes are her way of standing out in your eyes. And if you're paying attention, her body language might give her away too. You'll catch her gently smoothing her hair, adjusting her outfit, or even lightly touching her neck whenever you're nearby. These aren't random gestures. They're subconscious ways of drawing your attention to her. But wait, this goes deeper than just her appearance. Watch how she reacts to other women in your vicinity. A hint of jealousy or a guarded look when another woman gets too close to you speaks volumes. It's not just about how she wants to attract you. It's also about how she wants to keep your attention on her and her alone, subtle, sure, but utterly revealing. 8, she finds ways to be near you when a woman is taken. She might not confess her feelings outright, but her actions will speak volumes if she's into you. Watch closely, she'll create reasons to cross your path. Maybe she times her coffee breaks to align with yours, asks for your help with something trivial, or just happens to show up in places where she knows you'll be. It's not luck or coincidence, it's intentional. Pay attention to the small moments. Does she gravitate closer to you during group settings, choosing the seat beside you without hesitation? Or maybe she lingers a little longer after a conversation, standing there while everyone else walks away. These subtle, deliberate actions reveal her true feelings. Even if she doesn't say a word, romance is about being drawn to someone against all odds. And sometimes these tiny forbidden gestures are signs she's wrestling with her emotions. If these behaviours feel too consistent to ignore, you may just be on her mind more than she's letting on. 7, subtle physical touch. Physical touch can be a tricky and sensitive territory, especially if she's in a relationship. However, when a woman is developing feelings for you, she might cautiously test the boundaries with small, seemingly innocent gestures. These touches are rarely accidental. They're deliberate acts that carry a deeper message, even if subconsciously, for instance. She might lightly brush her hand against your arm, while sharing a laugh tap your shoulder to grab your attention, or rest her fingers on yours for just a fleeting moment, while emphasizing a point in conversation. These moments might seem casual on the surface, but in reality, they're her way of finding little excuses to create a connection with you without being overt. It's her way of bridging the physical gap between you two while keeping it subtle and safe. Pay attention to these, as are they happening more frequently when you're around. The closer you look, the more you might notice that her touch lingers just a little longer than necessary, or perhaps it's accompanied by a warm smile or prolonged eye contact. At its heart, touch is one of the most intimate ways to bond, and if she's willing to share those moments with you, it speaks volumes about her feelings, even if she's holding back due to her current situation. These tiny gestures reflect her growing emotional connection with you. It's her way, and romantic way. 6, she acts differently when she's around. Have you noticed her whole vibe shifts when you're around? Pay close attention to her behaviour. It might be more revealing than you think when a woman is into you. She can't always hide it, even if she tries. Sometimes she becomes more animated. She might laugh louder at your jokes, no matter how corny they are, or her smile lingers just a little longer when you're in the conversation. It's like your presence lights her up from the inside, and she can't help but exude a little extra glow around you. But it's not always about big, obvious gestures. Sometimes it's in the subtle changes. Perhaps she straightens up and carries herself with a bit more confidence when she knows you're watching. Or maybe she adjusts her voice to sound cooler, calmer, and collected, almost overcompensating, but still wanting you to notice her effort. On the other hand, she could even act distant or almost cold toward you. Why? Because feelings this intense scare her. She's caught in an emotional whirlwind, trying to suppress her attraction because of her current relationship. These shifts in her behaviour are rarely random. Her smile, the way her voice softens, or even the nervous edge in her laugh. They're all signs of an internal battle playing out, whether she's leaning into her feelings or trying to push them away. So it's an emotional response she often can't control when you're in the picture. Every change is a window into how you make her feel, and it speaks volumes. More than words possibly could. 5, her eyes tell the truth when a woman starts falling for you, especially if she's trying to deny those feelings. Perhaps because she's already in a relationship. Her eyes often speak louder than her words. Pay close attention to how she looks at you. Does her gaze linger a little longer than it should? If she holds eye contact for more than just a fleeting couple of seconds, that's not something to brush off as random or accidental. Even more revealing is how she looks at you. Have you noticed her eyes moving in a specific pattern one moment? She's looking into your left eye, then your right, and suddenly her gaze drops to your lips. It's what they call the triangle method, a subconscious act people do when they're attracted to someone. This unspoken signal says it all, even if she's not putting her feelings into words. But there's more. Her eyes might sparkle, or you might catch her pupils dilating when you're in conversation, or even just sitting nearby. These are involuntary physiological cues that happen when someone feels deeply interested or excited by your presence. Signals her body can't hide, no matter how much she might try to keep her emotions under wraps. And here's the kicker. Group settings can be especially telling. She might avoid looking directly. Her micro-reactions of jealousy. Jealousy is one of the biggest giveaways. If she subtly tenses up when you mention another woman, asks casually, "Who's she?" with a different tone, or playfully teases you about your taste in women, she's more invested than she lets on. She may fidget, cross her arms, or even steer conversations back toward herself. These unconscious reactions signal that she sees you as someone special, even if she won't admit it. Her body language speaks volumes. Attraction often manifests through unconscious body movements. Does she lean in when you talk, even when there's space? Are her feet pointed toward you, even when she's turned away? These small signals indicate where her true focus lies. If she fidgets, plays with her hair, or adjusts her outfit when you're around, it's because she's hyper-aware of your presence. Additionally, if she repeatedly enters your personal space or initiates touch, she's testing the waters. She's emotionally invested. The biggest sign? She invests emotional energy in you. She checks in on you, remembers your struggles, and makes a genuine effort to support and uplift you. From heartfelt texts before important events to simply making time for you, these actions show she cares deeply. The way she listens, the way she remembers tiny details about you, and the warmth in her voice, they all indicate she's emotionally aligned with you, whether she realizes it or not. The bottom line: when a woman is drawn to you, her actions will reveal the truth, no matter how much she tries to suppress it. The key is recognizing these signs and understanding what they mean. If you've noticed several of these behaviors, she may be feeling more than she's willing to admit. Now that you know what to look for, what will you do next?